Hi, this is Todd. You may know me as Winnin in games or on Winninoid on Twitter. I'm very excited about this Multiplaying podcast reboot, especially since they didn't rehash the origin story yet again. So I hope you're enjoying it too. And when I'm not playing games, I publish novels and children's books. Check out my site, www.toddcedwards.com, to find out more. Thanks.
Does anybody else want to do the This Is Multiplaying or what?
Let Rare do it. He hasn't done it in a long time.
Just tell me what I gotta do and I can do it.
The read the top, the pre-show bit.
And just spell the last four of your social right there.
It's 1111. Okay, this is Multiplaying, episode 113, recorded on Friday the 13th again, but this time, March 2015.
Everybody online, looking good.
Podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Da-da-da, da-da-da, yeah, are we going to do that again? This is Multiplaying, episode 113. We're back yet again. Tonight we have, in the separate studios from across the nation, Jason.
Hello. You always go to me first.
You're on the list first, man.
It's alphabetical.
No, it's not.
Jason outranks me, sir. Jason, what is your...
Oh, it's not.
Huh? There's a Futurama reference.
I mean, if we go by my first name, it's alphabetical. I can change it.
No, I just, you know what? I just put the, whoever's guesting, last all the time. Because we have a longer intro.
I'm just throwing off the show tempo. What's new? I used to do that anyway. Now it feels like home.
It's alphabetical plus guest at the end.
The prodigal son returns.
Yes!
Now if we just had Paz dicking around in the background somewhere. Jason, what are you drinking, man?
I am drinking Bud Light.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Are you enjoying the Bud Light?
I am.
All right.
Extra ounce in this 25-ounce can.
Yeah. And does it have the big explosive 10% and so this 10% free?
No, it has a big, kind of like that. It has a big 1.
Oh, yeah?
And then smaller letters, extra ounce.
Just like they did it just for you?
Yeah. They made this for me.
This is
but
a
yeah,
deal.
they want you to know you are smart drinking this big can.
You paid for 10, but you're getting an extra one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What
Shannon.
a value.
That's how you get ahead in life.
Shannon, how are you?
Hello. Oh, I'm lovely. How are you?
All right. Well, you're lovely. Are you drinking lovely as well?
I have Diet Verner's and Captain Morgan.
What's that called? Just Diet Verner's and Captain Morgan. Is that the Captain's Cove, or is that
That's
that
what the one
else?
local restaurant calls it. So we'll go with yes.
All right. Does it kind of taste like cream soda?
It kind of does. It's kind of really, really awesome.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
If you like cream soda.
I really like cream soda.
I don't know who doesn't like cream soda.
I'm weird. I'm not a huge fan.
You're
there
the
we
guy.
Sorry.
I have a 12-pack of it out in the garage, but I don't touch it because, god damn, does it got a lot of calories in it.
That's why it's the diet, man.
I know. Yeah, I should. Anyways, long story behind why I even have that. So, Steve, I'm going back to the classic Di Serono.
You actually spelled it out really fancy, too.
I did.
Yeah.
Kendall, he can't spell.
That's true. That's as best I could do.
He sounds it out. He tries his little heart out. Don't focus on it too much.
Actually, my kid did it for me.
You had her spell your liquor?
Could you please spell Di Serono for me?
Please spell this alcoholic beverage.
It's the daddy juice. With us once again. I don't know how many episodes this is, but you're back. It's Kendal. How's it going, man? Formerly known as Rare, actually still known as Rare.
It's true. That is still the name that I do go by in the interwebs.
Yes.
So this is probably 10th show, 11th show, something like that?
I've lost track. I don't have any more fingers.
It's been a long time.
No, it's been a year since you've been on, but it's only been 6 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You kept count.
Well, who's counting
Okay.
though, right?
Yeah, I can't spell, but the rest of us can't count. So. What are you drinking?
I have a drink. Okay, so the running joke is every time I'm on the show, I'm drinking like Gatorade or Sunkist or something
Well,
non-alcoholic.
for a
but
long
I
time you were underage.
It's true. It's true.
Well-
but I have a drink this time.
It's not required. You don't have to drink
no.
in order. Okay.
It's not so much that I felt required to, but a fan of the show, who is my friend, was like, "You have to have a respectable drink." I was like, "Okay." So he bought me from Indianapolis, so it's local, a New Day meadery. So they make mead, and it's a grapefruit session mead called Day Ride. So it's like, yeah, like it has a meaty taste to it, but it's also like drinking really pungent fruit. So it's good.
Yeah,
knows
that
me
sounds
well,
somewhat
so.
intriguing. That sounds
Yeah, I kinda
like it
like
could
that
be
idea.
good. That sounds
Yeah.
like that could be good or just awful.
Like, it depends, because sometimes it's like, yeah, this is like really interesting, and sometimes like, I'm not in the mood to drink that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of, it's a unique drink, but it's pretty tasty. So I have alcohol on the show. Yay.
Cool. Yeah.
The crowd goes wild.
He's gonna break the show.
Probably.
Let's see how
By
it
the
goes.
end of it, he's going to be like, I got some things to say to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
But let's
Hopefully.
Hopefully
real
good
quick.
things.
Since you've been gone, since we've all been gone, where has Kendal gone? I know that you've still been doing a lot of YouTube videos. I think you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Back when you were on the last time, I think you were kind of just getting at it.
Yeah, I mean, or at least like at that, if I remember correctly, it was still small at the
Yeah.
time. Like it is still small, but it's not as small. So yeah, gaming wise, still doing the YouTube thing.
Mhm.
Also doing a lot more streaming now than I used to, which is a lot more fun.
Is
But,
it still
we're-
mostly League of Legends?
So I'd say it's like 60% League, and then on streaming, it's much more so like random stuff.
Oh,
like
cool.
we played XCOM, Darkest Dungeon, RimWorld, sometimes just League of Legends with fans and whatnot, and then pretty much like I'll just open up my Steam library and be like, straw poll, pick something, because I don't know, and then we'll just play a game. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
But on top of the YouTube, and where can people actually find you on the YouTubes?
Yeah, so you can find me at, is hard to spell, it's like the old full name I used to go by. It's youtube.com/RerUro, so RerUro. Or if you want to just search on YouTube, you can just do RareTV, which is just RerTV, and that's what the channel is actually called. So much easier to find it that way, probably.
That's pretty easy.
That's my little slice of the internet, and we're like at 1.6K
Subs?
people subs. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
not bad.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool. Yeah. I ain't got shit.
We were almost to 100 subs on our Multiplaying YouTube, but then we realized we put it under Steve's actual personal Gmail account rather than its own
no.
Multiplaying.
Yeah.
So we had to switch. About a year ago, we switched it, but now we're down to we got 20 people because, it's hard to tell people to, that was
Well,
wrong.
I'll definitely be doing some
Resub.
cross-sharing love, because I'll make a little video saying, like, hey, I'm guessing the show. I love it. Go listen to it, please.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Our
So,
YouTube is totally just our audio, though, put over to whatever I have on the screen at the time. So it's
all the more reason to go listen, then,
I guess.
because it's a wonderful show.
We like to think so, but
I mean, I'm with you on that.
I
Cam,
hate it.
So.
I enjoy my time here with you guys.
yeah, that's ultimately, yeah. We just keep coming back to doing it just
It
because.
gives you an excuse to drink, right?
Yeah, I don't need one, but yeah, just like getting together and yapping about games and shit.
It's true.
But on top of the YouTube stuff, you also have been writing some?
Yeah. So on Kotaku, Kotaku.com,
Mm-hmm.
there's a subforum, I guess you could call it, that's called Talks Amongst Yourselves, which is basically just people who like Kotaku. And you can go there, and it's pretty much open to write whatever you want. And assuming you're not a total douchebag, people there will be like, oh, you're cool. And then they'll put your, words or article or a link to a stream or whatever on that page. And then if you write something actually interesting or different or just something that the actual writers hadn't thought of and they like it, then they'll put it on Kotaku itself. So that's happened to me twice in the past month or so. And last time I checked, I wrote an article about how gaming relationships and friendships are quote-unquote real, just as if like a normal friendship. And that one was somewhere around like 66,000 unique viewers.
That was
So
a great article.
Thank you.
It was. I actually went to that one, and I missed the first one. Somebody mentioned it that I think it was actually Shannon said that you got posted on Kotaku, and I missed it. I couldn't find the link via Twitter, but I did read that last one. It was really good, man.
Thanks, man.
That
Well,
actually spawned some conversation between other multiplaying people where Grilled Cheese Ruth kind of commented on a thing and talking about like
Twitter,
the people that he
it.
has met. We've met him once. And
I've met Winnin twice now at Gen Con.
we met him
I keep
once.
on missing Blue K though. Makes me sad. I'm gonna find him eventually. One day.
But it kind of prompted Ruth and us that we actually talked about today. Like, you know, we all need to meet at Cedar Point this summer. Just kind of reminded us, yeah, we are real friends, and we miss seeing each other. So it was a really cool thing.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really glad to hear that a lot of people in the multiplaying community read it. That's really awesome, actually. I miss you guys. I need to come on the forums more.
It's still there.
We
It
need
is still
another
there.
Con.
You guys still post on the random stuff on the internet thread, which is my favorite thread. Like,
Yeah,
I'm actually proud.
Yeah, that is the best one.
I'm proud
Isn't
of
it
that
like
thread.
117 pages deep?
Something ridiculous like
Yeah,
that.
didn't you start that?
Let's see
I
here.
did. That's why I'm
Yeah,
proud,
that
man.
is. That's
I
a
love that
baby.
thread. It is. It really is. Such a good thread. Go multiplaying.net.
118 pages. Oh my
Worth
gosh.
reading if you're really bored at work or just whenever, because there's a lot of random shit in that thread.
My latest GIF of the Happy Subaru is probably one of my favorites now. So, love that thing. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to promote before we move on to regular gaming topics?
I think I'm gonna do another Extra Life stream this month.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you guys did one around the same time I did, right? On the official day? And you'd all took
I didn't
all took
partake,
shifts?
but yeah, Shannon and a whole bunch of people kind of ganged up on it. That was really good.
Kind of did like an AOA.
Yeah, right. I remember
stream.
because you guys were. I think I cross-referenced yours a little bit, one way or another. But yeah, so this year there's not like an official quote-unquote day. They're just like, screw it, do it whenever you want because you're raising money for sick kids. And I was like, okay. So I've already done one in February, and I think I'll just do it like, monthly or bi-monthly, something like that. And my goal this year is to do 1.5K because we got around $1,000 last year.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
And we will do what we can to promote it. So make sure you let us know when you're going to do that. Do you have a day yet that you're set to do that?
I tend to do it on like a weekend because
Yeah.
obviously, having a job, but I'll probably do it on like the 28th of this month. So basically 2 weeks from now.
Awesome.
Well, 2 weeks from now of us talking anyway. So yeah, March 28th.
Yeah, this might
hopefully-
go up the day before. We don't know. It may go up.
Exactly.
2 weeks before or the day before.
If it's 2 weeks before, it's going up right now. You work fast.
Wow. I'm not that
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, come on,
Don't
What I
Shannon.
was-
underestimate us.
But I was thinking, I was actually thinking of doing a multiplaying, like how we did the AOA one last year.
Yeah.
We could still be a part, individually as AOA one if we all did the same day or whatever. But since it's not on the same day, like Ray was saying, or since like Kendall was saying,
It's okay.
it's going to take me a while to get used to not using your gaming handle.
I'm still used to calling you Zelly too, so it's fine.
We'll just flip them around. It's no big deal.
Exactly.
But we could do since it's not on a particular day this year, we could do our own multiplaying day and really get maybe 2-hour blocks each.
Yeah,
or 3-hour
totally.
blocks each. And
I would be.
try and get it would be a couple months off of this, so you're not doing them back to back, because I know that's hard to raise money, repeatedly from the same people, but
Right.
could be cool. It's an idea.
I'd be totally down for being a part of that.
Would we all try to
Awesome.
filter separately, but through the multiplaying Twitch?
I was thinking we could all Twitch off of the multiplaying. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One. You could. Some people have it so they can Twitch off of theirs, simultaneously. They can do whatever you want. I don't care.
You could also make it so multiplaying is just hosting whoever is streaming.
Yeah, it's true.
You would have to explain to me how that happens, and then I
would
could
be
do
happy
that.
to.
Okay.
After the podcast.
Exactly.
But yeah, all right. I'm so happy. That sounds awesome. I hope to be a part of that, as long as I can keep the kids at bay. So, let's talk about some games. What do we want to talk about first? I had a note on here to talk about Bloodborne. We don't really have to talk about Bloodborne that much. I just want to say that
You're very excited.
I'm so damn excited about that game.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
About that.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of related because you are a big Dark Souls fan.
Yes.
That's why you're excited for Bloodborne.
Very much.
I work with a guy who is taking the day off for Bloodborne.
I've been tempted to. I have a day this upcoming week for my birthday that I always take off, but I've been tempted. I probably won't to move it, but I'm already going to have to take a day off. This is what sucks. It turns out that I will probably have to take a day off the day Bloodborne comes out to watch my kids because they're on spring break.
Oh.
And there's no way in hell that I can play that game around my kids.
Guys,
yeah.
What's Bloodborne?
Bloodborne is the next Miyazaki game from basically FromSoftware, the company that made all the Dark Souls game, or not all the excuse me,
Demon Souls,
first Dark Soul game, and then Demon Souls.
Ridiculously hard game that you guys love.
Yes.
I kind of think of this as like Dante's Inferno and Van Helsing had a love child. That's what Bloodborne looks like to me.
Yeah,
but this is console, right? Only type of game?
I think so.
Dark Souls was not.
Bloodborne is a PlayStation.
Yes, Bloodborne is PS4 exclusive.
Right, and I'm hoping it's what the Order 1886 should have been.
Well, yeah. It's just.
But is it fair to the layperson, or I guess it wouldn't be a layperson, but old school video game fan? Isn't Dark Souls, Demon Souls kind of a modern day 3D Castlevania?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, the problem that
that's kind of how I always thought of it in my head.
Yeah, and in fact, the problem that a lot of people had with Dark Souls 2, me personally, that I had with it, and I barely played into Dark Souls 2 because it didn't have that same feeling of connectivity between all the areas of the game that is often considered like the quote unquote Metroidvania style, that everything you walk through one way, but you actually backtrack through places and make connections in the world to quickly travel in between. And that was something very, very prevalent in Dark Souls 1 that didn't really show up in Dark Souls 2 because it wasn't the exact same people making that game.
Yeah.
So that's supposedly what's come back with Bloodborne.
People are kind of hoping for that magic from Dark Souls 1.
Totally. And I've been pretty closed off from like news about the game and not watching a lot of videos. But with it being a couple weeks up until I started kind of looking at a few more things, and it's just really got me excited.
It comes out in 2 weeks?
25th, I think.
Okay. Have you checked out the upcoming release? Like, it's a 2D Dark Souls inspired game, Salt and Sanctuary?
I've heard it be talked about, but I've not looked at it.
If you go on Giant Bomb, they have one of their quick look exclusives with the developers.
Uh-huh.
It looks really interesting. And the guy who made it, he's the guy who made Dishwasher.
I don't know what that is.
It was a Xbox kind of independent 360 game. But he is in the quick look, and he talks about his deep love for Dark Souls and Demon Souls and how this is directly inspired from it. It looks interesting.
I will definitely have to check that out because that does sound cool. That and Axiom Verge.
Yeah, that looks fucking awesome.
That looks really good. That kind of has a very Metroid-esque style to it in the way that it looks like almost like a cross between Metroid and Contra.
Yeah,
with some of those bigger,
that sounds really cool.
Bigger boss fights.
And speaking of that, Ori and the Blind Forest just came out. I've been playing that. It's a really good kind of like cross between Super Meat Boy, Castlevania, Metroid type of game with amazing art.
Yeah, I was looking at the screenshots of that earlier before we started podcasting, and it looks great. There's too many games. I tweeted earlier, there's too many freaking games out right now. It's like they're trying to tempt me away from my money before Bloodborne gets here. Because, like, the Cities game that came out looks great.
Like the SimCity game that should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. It's like $30.
I know.
It was made by like 9 people. I don't know how it's that incredible in comparison.
Yeah, it'll be one that I wait at least until my birthday next week and then see.
It'll be on sale at some point.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. See how
the Dark Forest is.
It already has mod support, and like you don't have to be online to play it. Like it's everything SimCity should have.
Yeah.
Been, in the best way possible.
Yeah, and there was even a post on Reddit that I just checked before we got on that one of the guys that used to work for Maxis, I guess he had said he got laid off a few months before the big mass layoff. Right. He had just posted his first mod for the game, and it was basically just a building that he designed that you could add into the game, and it looked really good. It was like it kind of had that same SimCity style, but he was talking about how easy that the developers made that game for people to actually upload content to the game, and just very much praising them on their what they did with Skylines.
And that helps. If it's only $30, you feel much better throwing money, because if modders are going to work on it for a while, you're going to have a reason to come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. But enough about Bloodborne. We can move on to, has anybody else got something they want to bring up? Special? What they've been playing?
Darkest Dungeon's really good.
Yeah,
it is. I stopped playing it, though.
I stopped playing it, and today I thought about it, like, I want to go back, and I'm just going to do a new playthrough, because I don't
feel like you kind of screwed yourself?
Yeah, I don't want to log back in to just be doomed. I want, like, a fresh start.
Gotcha. Now, just to clarify, did you guys already talk about this on like last week or anything? Because I don't want to like bring
a couple weeks ago.
They talk about Darkest Dungeon all the time, but it's fine. It's nice to get updates.
We did talk about a couple episodes, but that game is great.
It's so good.
Yeah,
like the narrator guy.
If it's good, go with it.
He helps make it.
I want him to be a sound pack for everything.
Awesome, yeah.
Oh, he's so great. So I think to put a twist on it, then the first article I did write, Steve, was about how Twitch interaction and streaming games can make like a whole new experience out of something that didn't even exist in the first place. So all of my characters are named after people that are on my stream. So I'm like 10 times more likely to like not want them to die. And I think I got to like week 30 with no deaths, and I was doing a level 0 run, and it was a torchless run because I just wanted to get a bunch of money. And I had one person become abusive, so everyone else started stressing out, and then I had my first person ever die to a frickin' spider because of poison damage. And I was like really upset because it was one of my favorite people on my stream. Yeah. And so yeah, there you go. So I think that game is super awesome.
On original Sims, I used to name everybody, like I made all my friends, my real life friends, Sims.
Yeah.
But
I do that at XCOM.
They would do all the craziest stuff. Like you're not dating that person. What are you doing?
Right.
And it becomes like two character management, so you start kind of letting some of them do whatever they want to do.
You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now you all have to die.
You get really
whatever happens,
when
happens.
Stuff happens. Like it was. My one friend got electrocuted. She turned on a lamp and got electrocuted. I was like, oh my god.
Did you call her up and like, are you okay?
No. But I have that same thing where you get connected.
I've just seen a vision.
Well, now I do the same thing that Jason does, though. I'm doing an XCOM run on the stream as well, right alongside Darkest Dungeon, so they like constantly compete of what game I should play. But they're also named after viewers, and my God, I'm playing classic difficulty, and they just die left and right. Like, it's awful. It's hilarious, but it's awful.
No, it helps make it though serious, because if you in XCOM, I make whoever I want to make, I get their hair right. I kind of outfit them personality-wise. Like, this guy is more upfront, this person's more support, and when they die, it's like, fuck. Put all that work in.
I think it definitely adds something to the game. It makes it a lot more fun to play.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you create your own narrative, kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure game, but with people you know. I hope that's not, like, a sociopathic thing to say, but...
No.
Yeah. Good ending there.
Yeah. Good segue. Rare.
Shannon, what you been playing this week?
XCOM Actually, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. Last episode, Calabajui put his bumper on our show, and he got me into his, well, it's not his, I guess. It's a server that he's playing on with a group of YouTubers, and they all do a bunch of stuff on the server. It's called The Unnamed, and so, I don't know, I just kind of got on there today, actually. But this week, I was, like, kind of playing just a bunch of Minecraft.
Yeah.
I did actually play some Guild Wars 2, though, and got my warrior up to 78.
Oh, wow.
So,
You're right there.
yeah, made a little progress.
Nice.
Well, they give you those things that level
Those experience
you.
tomes?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it makes, I mean, it's not as impressive as it, it wasn't impressive before, and now it's even less so.
Did you have any birthday boosters?
No.
No?
Should
Okay.
I have?
I don't know if you had on any of your characters that you've had sitting around for a while. They may have gotten...
Oh, I have some, there's tons of them in the bank. I am the type where I'm like, oh, I should save that for a day where I'm just going to play all day. So they sit in the bank.
Yeah,
so
I do
have
that
a
too.
stack of them.
Yep.
Then,
But
Yep.
Guild Wars, I mean, you have fun playing, so you don't automatically think I need to skip levels.
right.
Like,
No.
I mean,
It doesn't make it a grind, like, for each one.
The nice
so.
thing about the boosters, though, is that, like, when you activate one, when you log off, it's not still counting your time. When you get back
What do you
on,
mean?
like, okay, if I have a 24-hour
so it's
birthday
not real
booster,
time.
I play for 2 hours, log off, get back on, I still have 22 hours left.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought it was like
I
a
don't know if it
24-hour
does it
real
on
time
every
thing.
booster or just the birthday boosters, but I did take special note of that when I used one the other day for a run of crafting and farming in the silver wastes that I did. So,
Yeah. Well,
Which
that's good to know.
Which the silver farming the silver wastes, I'm quickly learning that that's something I should stop doing if I want to keep loving the game because it makes it monotonous for me. But
Is it just like mind-numbingly boring?
it kind of, after a while, it is. That's a good way to make money, but that's not how I like to play the game. So I'm going to switch back over to some more SPVP, which Jason just dropped a note in there about. What's up?
I tried it a bunch last weekend because they
Yeah.
had that weekend boost, and I hadn't really played SPVP since launch, and I had a really interesting time. So it was kind of a shock just logging in and seeing how much more streamlined they've made it. I remember when at launch, like, you'd get all these gear that were level 80, you had to configure with them and mess with them. But the way they've changed the wardrobe system and all that, you can kind of just quickly gear up and specialize, which was cool.
Yep.
And I logged in. I did a couple matches and had a fun time. Never really ran into anybody yelling at me for playing wrong. Lost both matches. But then I found a server that was daily, like helping people get their daily, experiences.
Achievements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
achievements. Have you guys ever messed with those?
Like the title of that, like basically the if you don't know what we're talking about, the structured PvP. If you go into that area in Guild Wars 2, they have basically what it is like instances that players can create. They have to pay like a certain amount of gold, game gold, and you don't have to like send them your watch or anything.
Arenas for gold.
Yeah, and you can kind of set it up however you want to play. And there was this one that whole weekend where they had like all this, PvP experience boosters last weekend on structured PvP, and they had this one server up that said, get your dailies done, and go ahead and tell them like
you'd log in, and it would you could have chat across both teams.
Yeah.
So everyone could talk to each other. And they were just, each match, the red team was capping and winning. The blue team was capping and win the other one. And they were just saying, hey, if you need to, like, someone volunteer. If you need kills, just kill me.
like if you need
You need
to
your
defend
daily.
because
Really?
if it was the blue team's turn to win, like they alternated, it was blue team won, then red team won, then blue team won, then red team won, and it was considered rude to switch teams, and they would call you
there
out
was
on it.
lots of, like, protocols that you should know, and they have, like,
I don't
people-
approve of this, you turncoat.
yeah.
It actually sounds like
the red team would then go cap all 3, and then the one, and they were very consistent that bear was the one that flipped. So all, like blue would run in and flip it, and then they'd back out, and then red would walk in and flip it and back out, and then blue, like, it was extremely organized. And if you forgot to back out, someone would kick you, like,
I'd use
blast you
like
out,
my electric hammer to knock you out.
And yeah, and then if someone's like, hey, I need defender for, today's daily, and like, okay, go ahead and kill me, and they'd walk in there and let you kill him.
There's one guy, I'm like, I need 4 kills, so he's like, okay, kill me. And then about 30 seconds after I killed him, he showed back up. All right, do it again. And it was really fascinating. Like, I obviously wouldn't want to do that every day, but just hearing people talk and kind of trade advice and see teams work together was really interesting. And
it makes sense to a degree, because it's like, I personally don't like it, but I get it, because there are a lot of people in that game that just want to do achievement farming and just want to do mostly PvE style gameplay, but that they see these achievement points and the stuff that they can get through PvP, so they set up an easy way to do it.
These people were very blatant. The one girl, actually, I don't know if she was a girl, but her character was a girl. So the one girl said, this is a way for us PvE casuals to get our dailies done quickly. And, that was all they were doing. But I was there just kind of watching and just fascinated, like, oh my God. Like, I went into it like, what the heck? And like, sure enough, and everyone, occasionally you'd get a troll go in there and try and mess things up, but there were so many people into it.
Yeah, and the people on his team would be like, all right, kill him.
Yeah, that sounds like when when Team Fortress 2 first came out.
That's what reminded me of it.
Yeah, you would achievement swap.
Yep.
And like Valve was like really hardcore against that initially. I don't know if they
a bunch of people got banned from the game because of it.
That's what I was thinking, like watching this, I'm like, because I went into it, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, is this kosher? Like, what the heck?
Well, they paid for a private arena. I don't see how it's not. They're doing with that arena as they want. But I mean, unless it comes down in the rules somewhere. That
all right, and the part that helped me justify just kind of being there, and this is something I was there for just fascination. I'm not going to be there every day, but...
No, I'm not going to do it again, but I just wanted to see what was happening.
It seems like you're unlocking stuff like most of Guild Wars 2. You're not getting a statistical advantage against competitive players, right?
No, and that was the other thing I was going to say. It's not like these people are going to then go off and jump into a ranked match.
Yeah, because if that was it, I would want no part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't seem to matter.
Well, exactly. Yeah. They don't want any part of that, so they just want the easiest way to get those points.
Right, but if someone is there and then they went to competitive, would they have a necessary advantage? Because SPVP makes a big point that all of your stuff is normalized. You're getting like cosmetic gear or crafting stuff.
I'm not real sure if the private arenas count towards any sort of ranking or not. I'm not that deep into SPVP.
I would assume not.
I mostly just do pug stuff, so I really don't know.
I would think ArenaNet would shut that down. I mean, the title was blatant.
Yeah.
The title was extremely blatant, so yeah, I gotta think it just didn't matter.
I'd assume by now there's got to be some awareness on their part of it. So I
totally,
yeah.
Especially if that's on Reddit or anything.
And you know what? I clicked the find browser in PvP. I didn't purposely go there. It was like the top one on the PvP browser. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I had no idea what it was until I clicked it. Like I didn't go there searching for something.
So I mean, that wouldn't surprise me if they changed it later, but I don't think they would necessarily punish players for doing that because you're just using the tools that they've provided. Really, like it's not like a direct exploit. So I don't know. It doesn't seem that.
It was definitely interesting for the day and a half that I was there. It was fascinating seeing people interact with each other and talk about it, and then kind of explore the map and see what they were doing.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. But yeah, I've been still playing some Guild Wars 2, but not a lot this week. It's been a tiring week for me, so I've mostly been playing, when I've been awake, Valiant Hearts.
Oh, such a good game.
PSP Plus game.
Yes, free.
I
That's
downloaded
why I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, did they actually get it free this month?
Yeah, on the PS4.
Nice. It's a really good game.
It is. I'm through chapter 1.
Okay.
So I don't remember how many hours that was, like 2 maybe. It's not that far in. But yeah, I'm really liking that game so far. I honestly had heard a lot about it through other podcasts and knew that it was a 2D game based in World War I, but that's about the extent of what I knew.
And that's kind of what I knew. But hearing about it, is it like a puzzle game?
It's totally a puzzle game.
Action game? Okay.
No, there's none. You never once pick up a gun.
No. Well, you do, but...
Well, I mean, you pick up, like...
do anything with it.
You might operate artillery, but...
Sure.
Yeah.
It is...
I don't want to spoil anything.
I think of it as a very reduced version of an old adventure game. Like, you have to find these items and then solve this puzzle. It's a very reduced version of that.
I would agree, but much more linear.
Yes, very, very linear. There's pretty much, at any given time, only one thing that you should be doing to get through to the next spot.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like, it doesn't feel like
it moves quick enough that you're not thinking about what you're doing so much. And the one note that I wanted to make was there's enough times in there that even though, how should I say it? There is times in it that I'm stressed out enough because I either want to try to save someone or do something quick enough that I get really into the game. I get really not emotionally invested. I guess emotionally invested might be the word for it.
It's kind of both. Like, the game does a really good job of making you feel like, holy shit, dude, World War I's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, it just really draws you in. And as you play through, I really don't want to spoil anything, so I'll speak in generalities, but I think it was chapter 3 especially, like, you will get very emotionally invested in what's going on, and you want to, like, see the different characters succeed.
Sure.
What, and what is this available on? Everything, or?
It's on Steam, it's on PlayStation, I don't know if it's on Xbox yet, I think it is.
I know
Maybe
it's on
not.
Vita, PS3.
And I don't think it's on, it's not on the 3DS or anything like that, but it's a game that is like, quote-unquote, an indie game, but it's by Ubisoft. There's actually just an article about, like, their sound design, like, how the game got made, and they were even saying, like, essentially this game was designed by 3 people, and it had a code name of World War I, and then it just, like, died, because Ubisoft was doing too many other projects. They just didn't really care. And the only reason the game even got made is, like, 2 years later, I think it's, like, the CEO of Ubisoft was like, I love this game. We need to make this game. And he just brought the project back and, like, got the original people, and a couple others was like, just here's money, go do it.
Yeah.
And it never would have happened otherwise, apparently. But it's a wonderful game. I did a series of it, and I think it's just fantastic.
I had my work friend started playing it earlier this week and beat it, like, yesterday, and was telling me about it. And he said what really surprised him is how much he learned about World War I. And just, he was kind of describing, like, this is the shit that happened. Like, I'd never learned about, like, in school or anything.
What's really cool about it is there's, at any given time in any area that you're in, I think it's, I want to say on the PS4 it's like the triangle button or something, but you hit a button on the controller and it actually pops up a menu that has, like, 3 or 4 bullet points about, like, it has actually, like, real life pictures from World War I era that describe, like, the battle that took place around this area that you're in, or something that was happening at the time that would have been causing this issue that is around where you're at in the world. Right. And it is very educational in that regard. And it's already somewhat educational just playing through it, but if you take the time to pop that stuff up and read through it, basically becomes like a history lesson. It's
from
really,
what you were
really good.
Saying, it's not like glamorizing it.
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
kind of
exact opposite. I think it's a very anti-war game. Like, it doesn't explicitly say, like, we're anti-war. It's just more like, war is really bad.
Yeah. Pointing out this is some harsh shit.
Yeah.
And
like, you get those through the collectibles, right? It's been a while since I played, but, like, when you find the collectibles on the map, that's how you unlock that extra history stuff. So it made me, like, want to find them all. I actually went back and played a couple levels because I was like, this is really cool. I want to know more about this. So I think that was a good way to go about adding little, collectathons, like an adventure game, so to speak.
And it's a game. It's doing all this, and it's doing it in a 2D, pretty cartoony way
Yeah.
But still, I just wanted to like I wrote on here about the UbiArt engine that they've been using for a bunch of games. I think it's ever since around when Rayman made its comeback. Or
Yeah,
Rayman.
that art style.
The Rayman Legends game, or
Yeah, well, before Legends, the other one,
Okay.
Rayman Origins or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, the Ubi art.
Yeah, they've been using that engine very, very effectively. I love that. Whatever.
Child of Light.
Yeah, Child of
used
Light
it.
looks great. It's like, I hope they keep pushing that engine because everything I've seen them use it for so far has been great. And yeah, again, in a game that is somewhat of a cartoon, it is the art engine is used so magnificently to paint a pretty dreary picture.
yeah. I thought one of the really interesting things about that game, and it's not really a spoiler to say, is like the only people who whose eyes you see are kids.
Yeah.
All of the adults have like hair over their eyes,
Yeah.
so it makes them like either
Or
you could say,
glasses
like,
or something,
more-
yeah.
Yeah. Like it either makes them quote unquote darker or like, you know, a loss of innocence, so to speak. But like it's a really
Right.
minor touch that makes a really big difference once you start playing because you identify with certain characters a lot more than others,
Yeah.
depending on like what they're wearing and whatnot.
I'm interested in playing it.
It's good.
Definitely check it out. It's really good stuff. But in other 2D games that came free, Ollie Ollie 2.
On a similar note,
Speaking of World War One, Ollie Ollie 2 has been...
speaking of performing some sick grinds,
Yeah, Ollie Ollie 2, I've been playing a bunch on my Vita. It's really good.
So I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard
That's
the game
free
just came
for-
out and it's supposedly fun, but what is it exactly?
It's a side-scrolling skateboarding game.
Okay, I figured it was skateboarding because
Ollie.
but I just
It's
is it like a platformer or
No, it's kind of hard. There's like you get different stages that you have to complete. Every stage that you go through, you're given 5 or 6 things that you can check off on your list. Like do a grind between these 2 points, and they're kind of pointed out to you in the game when you're going through. But it's the control scheme is what really sets the game apart. Being side-scrolling, you kind of had to. The developers had to come up with something totally different, and they did so in the first game, and they brought it back for this one, added a couple more things, like manuals. But basically, to do an ollie, I mean, you basically don't have a lot of control over how fast you're going. You can double tap on the X button to kind of push off a couple times, but you don't have to keep doing that as long as you're actually performing stunts in a good enough manner.
okay?
But to actually do an ollie, you have to pull down on an analog stick and then flick it up.
Oh, really?
Yes, but not only do you
Cool.
just flick it up to ollie, you can rotate it one way or the other way or at this angle, and that will perform different types of ollies. On top of that, you use the triggers to actually turn. And then anytime you're coming down, if you're coming down to a rail for a grind, you can actually push down and then be holding a button to perform different grinds. You can actually do the same push up with a rotation or whatever to do another trick off of it. But when you actually come back down to concrete to land, you actually have to time the X button right when you hit the ground to make it a perfect landing. And any amount that you're not perfectly timed will discount your score.
Gotcha.
So
it's kind of like a 2D Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but
Yes.
like in
yeah,
a more
or
advanced control
TNC
scheme?
surf design.
yes, exactly. I like to think of it more like a 2D skate
Okay.
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
I like
Skate was
skate.
a great series.
Skate was so damn good. They need to bring that back.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's really good, and especially if you have PS Plus, download that thing and play it. It's really good.
yeah, I'm gonna totally download. I like the first one.
Yeah, I think I 100%ed like everything through that game. I constantly played it on my Vita, but I guess getting the like expert level stuff in this one is super hard. So I probably won't be finishing it anytime soon. Jason,
Yeah,
you're on a Metal Gear trip.
I am, because when Ground Zeroes came out, I said I'm not gonna play it because the complaint was it was really short. So I bought it day one, but I didn't start playing it till this past week when they announced the release date for Metal Gear Solid 5, which is like September 1st, beginning of September. I love the Metal Gear games. I don't know what you guys think about them.
I like them.
I've never played them, but I really want to. And I think we were tweeting about it earlier. I really want to buy the HD edition of, like, it's the first 3 games, right?
No, it's
not. Okay.
Depends on what you buy them on. So if you buy it on PS3, which is the normal HD, you get 2, 3, and Peace Walker, which was a PSP game.
Okay.
I think that's...
So would you recommend doing that? Because, like, 3's the really good one, right? Or am I incorrect in saying?
It depends.
Okay, so is it kind of like a Final Fantasy thing where some people are like, it's not the good one. I was like, that's the really good one.
There are some people who really like 2 and 1, but don't like 3, because 3 is a pretty big departure from the first 2.
Okay.
But they also, 1 and 2 follow the same character, and 3 follow a different one who is related. So it's confusing, but
I kind of know of the characters like Big Boss and Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. Like I know a little bit of it. I just don't know like.
So 1 and 2 are Solid Snake,
right?
And then 3 is Big Boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who Solid Snake was cloned from.
Right.
So,
I know that.
And then 5 is following Big Boss.
Because now he's like aging as a clone and like slowly deteriorating.
No,
whatnot, right?
That is Solid Snake.
Oh, okay. Well,
4 was Solid Snake when he was old.
Okay.
So 5 is basically a prequel.
So is it like kind of like Street Fighter where it goes like 1, 2, 3, 5, 4?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and Raiden, he was from 2, and he was in 4. And then, if you want a good PC game, action game, Metal Gear Solid Revengeance follows Raiden.
So is that good? Because like reviews were mixed, and I was like, I've never played Metal Gear. Should I buy this one, or should I go back and play the originals first?
I haven't played it yet, but it is
fair enough.
Very different than what Metal Gear is, because Revengeance is basically like a Devil May Cry version.
I was just gonna say that. Okay,
yeah.
So it is like Devil May Cry. Okay, which I've also never played, but I've heard it's quite good. So
yeah, because Metal Gear Solid's confusing. So Rare, if you were interested in checking it out, I do recommend you get the HD collection.
Okay.
Or if you want to jump straight to the modern version, Steam Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is the prequel to 5, and it's on Steam for $20.
Okay, I think what I'll do is, I wanted to get the HD trilogy anyway, so on a rainy day, like when I have time, I'll just go pick that up at like GameStop or something and try and grind that out, because right now, I just finished Shovel Knight like a week ago, which is an awesome game, and I've talked about it before, but I was like, what do I do next? And I had Final Fantasy VII from a Steam sale, and I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Oh wow, I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game, so I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to play Metal Gear, because I want to experience both of those series. So if you think Ground Zeroes is good and the trilogy is worth buying, I'll do both of those.
I do. I think they're good. As long as you like semi-serious, dumb lore. Like,
I've been involved. I
takes
played
itself
JRPGs
seriously, but also jokes about it.
Yep. Nope, I can dig that. I play enough JRPGs where they're like, oh, the world's ending, but let's have a sex joke. Like, So,
and I finished Ground Zeroes, my first playthrough, which it's short, but I am pleasantly surprised by how much replayability it seems to have, and it gives you a bunch of missions after, because it's made as a teaser for 5, which comes out this September. It's going to be on consoles and PC.
Really is it actually putting on PC? I didn't know Phantom Pain was going to come out.
It's going to be out like 2 weeks after a console version, but yeah, they've already kind of said it's coming out right after.
Oh, okay, great. Well, there you go.
Which I guess is why they put out Ground Zeroes on PC.
That just to be a lead for it? Sure, that makes sense. And Revengeance also. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, right on.
I just gotta say that noise that you know what I mean, that like blip noise. Yeah. Like it freaks me out every time, because I've only played Metal Gear Solid. I think it was actually the first one, because I'm that old. But made me crap my pants almost. Like, it just scares the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Trying to be all sneaky and stealthy.
And you
You're
get
like,
caught.
balls. Yeah.
When I was
Yeah.
finishing Ground Zeroes today, I ran right into that where I got discovered, and I love Metal Gear because it freaks me out, but I also love pulling off, a getaway. And
I was in here. Like, the reason why I brought it up is because I was in here playing Minecraft, and you were in there, and I heard that noise. I'm like, shit! Oh,
Yeah.
that's not me. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Nice.
yeah, today I finished Ground Zeroes, and the main storyline, which afterwards they give you a bunch of other side missions, which is really cool, is, getting someone to a helicopter. And I laid all these plans out. I tranquilized all these people, and I thought I had extraction. Like, I had called in a helicopter, and after I called it in, I saw a bunch of guys walking in, which you have to clear the area. Like, if a bunch of people shoot at the helicopter, it'll take off. So all my plans fell apart, and I was trying to, transport this unconscious person, so I had to drop them, kill all these people. The helicopter went away, and then I had reinforcements come in, took them out, and grabbed the person. And as reinforcements were coming in, I just booked it to this area I knew was kind of secluded, and I defended that area and got away. And it was amazing. It was such a cool kind of shit fell apart, but I improvised, and I'm really excited for 5, which is supposed to be much more of this kind of open-ended gameplay, like a big battlefield.
It seemed like it was giving you lots of options rather
Yes.
than being constricted. I just watched a couple videos, like the horse crapping and how you can put on a chicken head, I think it was.
Which I hadn't even seen any of that. I didn't watch any videos until I kept spoilers away from me. And then I watched a couple trailers after I finished the main thing today, and the way I saw people finish the mission, I am so excited to go back and just play Ground Zeroes to try to do different options, go in guns blazing or try other stuff.
Awesome.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
You were excited.
I don't know what to say to any of that.
I'm sorry. I was excited.
No.
I look forward to it.
No, it's just that there was... I thought I knew anything about Metal Gear, and then as you started talking, I realized how much I didn't know about Metal Gear. It's like, oh crap, maybe I should play more of that.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, the only experience I've ever had with him is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That's it.
Oh god, he was so good in that game.
He was OP! He was so good!
His level was amazing.
Oh yeah. It's like the ice fortress kind of thing, and the light randomly goes on players and does the alert sound. I think so, right?
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
No, that was it.
It's so good. The box, the best. Best taunt in the
As
whole
long
game.
as, I had some people on Twitter asking me if they should check it out, and as long as you're okay with dumb lore that's fun, doesn't take itself too seriously, I recommend trying it.
But as far as Ground Zeroes, for the price point and the amount of time that it has in it, as far as gameplay, do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, because now, on PS4 and PC, it's $20.
Oh, that's not bad. That's right. It did drop.
And you can breeze through the initial storyline, but as soon as you're done, it says, "Hey, these are other missions." And when you restart the game, it's not the same story. It's there's these assholes over here on the battlefield that we want you to take out, or we want you to go in and get this tape that has data and get it back to a helicopter.
Plus, kind of, where it's harder?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And the whole initial storyline is at night, so you have to use a lot of night vision. So when I finished it and restarted it, the one I picked next was daylight, so it kind of completely changed my whole approach, because I wasn't using the same
stealth
I wasn't
methods.
using yeah. It was completely different, and I was
That's
like, oh,
kinda
okay,
cool.
yeah, I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of it.
Now I'm going to use this box. I'm going to hide in this box.
And J-Dub was asking,
What's in the box?
how does it compare to other games, stealth and gunplay? That's one thing I'll give advice. If you're going back to older games, they don't play like traditional first-person shooters or third-person shooters.
No, not at all.
Ground Zeroes does. There's a
does?
shooter control option, which I've been using, and it feels totally like a modern day control method.
Really?
Because the other ones are kind of like Mario 64, almost like
Yeah.
platformer, or like early Resident Evil-ish.
Yeah, you have to kind of, like, I remember the first one on PlayStation, like, X was not the main action, it was circle, and it always took me a while to wrap my head around using that instead, and yeah, that, like, even Metal Gear Solid 4, which I've played through a couple times, and I actually started again today after finishing Ground Zeroes, I'm like, god damn, that's a great game. It still is kind of antiquated. Like, you equip a weapon by using L1, and then, like, you have to wrap your mind around it, where Ground Zeroes is more just, it's a modern day shooter.
Well, cool. I might have to check that out. What else can we talk about? Should we skip ahead and get into some extra stuff, non-gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick note before we talk about movie stuff. I've been playing the Pokemon card game.
Oh yeah, you've been playing with your kids, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Are you finally like getting into it more? Because I remember like when you first started, you were like, I don't know, but
I think it's a fine game. Oddly enough, my son was the one that wanted the cards. He got it as a birthday gift, or he got 2 decks as a birthday gift so that we could play. And it took me a couple nights of kind of playing around with him and trying to explain to him as I'm trying to explain it to myself, going through the rule sets, how to play. It was pretty easy enough to pick up, but then constantly trying to reiterate to a 7-year-old what to do became tasking. But that wasn't so much it. He was liking it enough, but like anything for a 7-year-old, quickly dropped it. Like, really didn't want anything else to do with it. But my daughter just recently asked if she could be shown how to play, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I showed her, and then it's been like an every night thing ever since. She just wants to play Pokemon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so cool.
It is pretty cool. We need more Pokemon cards because I'm tired of playing the same deck.
I can send you my original ones if you want. I have them in a binder in my attic. My parents are like, we're selling those. I'm like, they're not going to be worth anything. They printed like 10 million of these.
If you're like that mentality of Beanie Babies, they're going to be worth money.
Yeah, exactly. That was the same 90s. Oh, 90s.
Yeah, 90s were great. But yeah, we'll have to pick up some more decks and then keep playing. But she's getting really into it.
What I would say is, and I'm just thinking of this because you said Pokemon, you have a 3DS, right?
We do, yeah.
Have you gotten Pokemon Shuffle on it yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Have your kids played that?
No, I won't let them.
Okay. Because you're afraid that they would spend money on crystals, or just, because you're too busy playing it yourself?
Yeah, I kind of burned through all the available moves.
Yeah.
But
I actually, I'm mad that Nintendo's, doing it, but at the same time, it's a fun game. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. I don't like the
when your
business
guys'
practice,
voices get
but
high.
it's pretty good.
Because rarely is there was in the past. I rarely ever see anything free on the Nintendo eShop.
Right.
So when I saw something that was Pokemon and free, and thinking, oh, my son kind of digs Pokemon, I'll download this game. I'll approve it first for me, not that I figured there would be anything vulgar in it, but just, okay, I knew it was a free game. What kind of catches are there going to be? Are they going to try to get him to buy shit? And then I played it, and then I played it, and then I played it some more, and it's pretty good. It's like what would you classify that as?
Like Bejeweled.
Yeah, it's essentially a Bejeweled, but with Pokemon faces. It has some extra mechanics in it that if you have I can't remember how the hell they did it, but if you had
Mega Evolution?
If you had the Evolution Stone thing, you would get a special bar on the left side, and then if you leveled up your Pokemon on the screen by connecting enough of them, eventually in the match you would unlock a certain extra ability for that Pokemon face, so that when you connect them, it does extra shit and makes bigger combos. And
I actually didn't know if you kept leveling up, you got new moves. I guess I'm not that far in yet.
Oh, yeah. One of the first ones you get kind of becomes this thing that once you connect this one enough in a match, it will, once the bar fills up and you level that one up, then any subsequent connection that you make with it, it actually removes not only those that you connected, but then like the immediate ones that they're touching.
Right. That's the Mega. I think it's Mega Audino. I'm a Pokemon nerd. It's Mega Audino.
Yeah,
now
that
I think
one.
about it. Yeah, yeah. I was referring to like just the normal ones that don't Mega Evolve. 'Cause
Oh,
some
no,
of
I'm
those
just
have
talking
moves
about
too.
that.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, like it's like you can download like daily specials that are all free. Like, hey, this week come fight Kyogre or Mew or whatever, and like they give. I feel like they're at least fair and like they give you bonus
Totally.
gold.
Yeah, I had since let my kids at least like check it out. Here, you want to play this? And then
Right.
both of them kind of said, no. So I just kept
Because initially
playing.
I was like really hesitant of like, Nintendo's trying to make me pay money for this, but like they're really not.
Yeah.
I feel like you can just play it for like 10, 15 minutes a day,
Yep.
enjoy it for what it is, and that's fine.
Yep, totally. It was very generous.
So yeah, Pokemon Shuffle. You should download it and try it out yourself. It's really fun.
And speaking of Pokemon, since we're on this trip, my son bought his first, because he had some extra money, he bought his first Pokemon game.
Oh,
Like-
what one?
X,
XY,
no.
Alpha Ruby.
Alpha or Omega Sapphire,
Okay, nice.
and he's played it for 20 minutes.
And then did he already drop it? Or
He's
is he
already
gonna play
dropped it.
more?
He's
Oh no! You should play it then.
Give it
'cause
to your
apparently it's
daughter.
pretty good.
Apparently,
but
she's
I
yeah.
just- it was he spent his money on it.
I
that's
see,
true.
I see.
So it is
It's like I don't
his.
want to let her play it in case he starts getting mad, and I don't want to play it in case he's like, I should play. But I think it's one of those things like if I pick it up and start playing it, he'll go,
He'll get interested.
Yeah, I could play that Pokemon game again.
this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you could ask him like, "Hey, do you want to sit down?"
I'm
and play some
tempted to.
Pokemon for a
He
bit?
got through to the point where now it's just he can go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dude, because that was kind of I think his hang up was that there was so much reading in the beginning. And I was like, he was like, Dad, I don't want to read all this. So I sat there and kind of like he read some and I would read some. But then it got to that point where he could just go. I'm like, okay, now you can just go fight Pokemon, catch them, da-da-da-da-da. And I can help you if you want to go to the next town. And then he totally didn't want to do anything else. So it was like, that's-
Well, I mean, he's still pretty young, so I
Yeah.
can't fully blame him. But the new Pokemon have been great.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Pokemon Y.
yeah. Are those, yeah, those are pretty good.
Yep, definitely.
Cool.
I think, like, I was a big fan of Ruby and Sapphire when they first came out.
Yeah.
My God, now I feel old because I played Blue and Red when they first came out. But yeah, like, I think the new generations are getting really good. And I don't have Pokemon Bank. I should probably get it. Because God knows, like, we have at least 18 different Pokemon games in this house, and I can transfer them all. But, yeah. I think, oh shoot, what is, Game Freak. Yeah, Game Freak is doing a really good job with the Pokemon series.
Cool. Well, let's move on away from the Pokemon lands. Talk a little bit about Star Wars
Yes!
before we sign off. Shannon's been sitting here.
She's so excited.
She just wants to talk about Star Wars so much.
I want to hear you guys talk about Star Wars.
No, you have been pretty silent this episode.
Oh,
Time for
but
you to talk about Star
The
Wars.
stuff that you've triggered here, I kind of wanted to just hear about because I don't know anything about the Force Awakens.
I can
and
say-
the offshoot.
Not Rogue One offshoot, but I am so happy that they finally confirmed Ryan Johnson
For episode 8.
writing and directing episode 8. That is such a crazy, bold choice. I mean, I've loved what he's done, and he's not a mainstream director, writer.
So, what are some of his works, if you don't mind me asking?
He wrote and directed Looper.
Okay.
He wrote and directed Brick. He wrote there was a I think Brothers Bloom. Like, he is not breakout hits.
Right.
And he did he wrote some of the most popular critically acclaimed episodes of Breaking Bad. Looper is
he's
the
got
closest he's had to being like a main Hollywood movie.
But at the same time, you think by doing a director that's not a big name, that it'll have either a lot more heart or be like a lot more restricted and confined, or it's like a good.
I
narrated
think so.
movie. I
And
think that's a fair point to make.
yeah, I know Looper had its critics, but I really liked it, and I liked the kind of realistic future narrative or environment it kind of showed.
Yeah, my one note was with him getting it with him doing Looper, because I don't know if I've seen any of his other work, and just thinking of Looper, seeing what he did with that visually, I thought the movie was good. I don't think I liked it as much as you guys did, but
my thing with it was, like, I really like the characters a lot.
Yes.
I love the character development. Anytime you get into the times, okay, there were a lot of holes there.
Oh, totally.
Like, I will not deny that, but I love the story between the characters, and that's the part I really liked about Looper.
Yeah, and visually
also...
it was really, really well done, so I'm excited to see what he'll do with a very, very already known IP.
And, plot hole wise, I thought they did a good job, because any time travel movie, if you really break it apart, they all suck. And I really liked there's that part where they're in the diner, Joey Levitt, because I don't say actors' middle names, and Bruce Willis.
Joey
saying kind of where Bruce Willis says, okay, if we're going to break this apart, we're going to be here all day. Like, just because at that point you have to go with it, because you're watching a time travel movie.
Totally.
But I don't know. Back
to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Back to Star Wars.
I'm excited for episode 7, then 8.
Yeah.
Rogue One, I don't know about.
Okay.
You don't know about Rogue One?
No, because Gary Whitta wrote the first draft, and I really don't like Gary Whitta's movies.
Okay.
What are his movies?
He wrote... Okay, what was the one with Denzel Washington? A Book of Eli.
Oh, yeah.
And then he wrote the Will Smith After Earth.
Oh, he wrote that.
Yeah, and he used to be a video game writer for, like, PC Gamer, so he has a lot of cred with gaming journalists.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
None of those were bad, but they weren't like good. So...
Book of Eli was okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
Did I like
Rogue
Book of
Squadron
Eli? Did I watch
personally,
that?
like,
We watched it once, and then we forgot about it. That's kind of what my memory of it was. It was fine. After Earth was terrible.
I hope it's going to be hard to mess up Rogue Squadron, because like the books for what would have been 7, 8, and 9 with the original trilogy, like the Thrawn trilogy and the Rogue Squadron, like those are fantastic.
Yeah,
they're so good, and I know
the Thrawn ones were great.
In my heart of hearts, they're not going to do exactly what the books are. They might not even reference them once, and I'm okay with that. But like, if they approach the character development from even somewhere remotely close, it's going to be a good movie, because the character development in those books is amazingly good.
Yeah. My thing with posting the stuff about the Star Wars was just that we now have 3 years in a row of Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as the movies are good.
I hope this doesn't become like an Assassin's Creed thing, where it's
it all
keep
hinges.
milking this.
Yeah,
exactly.
It all hinges on if they're good.
Because you guys, I don't know if your kid ever watches the Disney Channel.
No.
Nope.
You don't watch stuff that's
I did.
I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. Especially the 9-year-old daughter right now is really into the Disney shows. And some months after the Disney acquisition of the Lucas properties, the Star Wars that is, that channel went fucking nuts about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Every show on that channel had a Star Wars episode.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
really?
Yes.
I remember the same thing.
I kind of like that, though, because...
It was, some of them were well done, some of them weren't, but it was just one of those things that it was
still,
like...
just exposing some children, like...
Yeah,
sure.
Some children would not be exposed to Star Wars otherwise, so
that's fair.
Awesome.
I mean, it's kind of like prepping the next generation.
I remember the same thing in the 90s when Disney bought ABC. Like, every ABC show did, we're going to Disneyland.
Oh, that's right.
Roseanne going to Disneyland.
I mean,
God damn it.
You would think with Disney now owning Marvel Studios and Star Wars, like, they have so much riding on these movies being successful. Like, if these movies are successful, they are going to make so much money in merchandise.
I think they already are.
That's where the real money for the movie is made.
Star Wars might make money.
Fair. Yeah, News at 11, I know. But like, I'm just saying, I feel like that there's no way they're going to either constrain the movies to where they won't be true to the originals and not the prequels.
But and I don't mean to interrupt you, but it kind of that put a thought in my head, because I saw an article the other day on IGN where in 2014 Avengers merchandise made $1 billion.
Jesus.
But they asked kind of the head of Marvel marketing, how are you going to market Daredevil, the new show coming out? And they said we're going to follow kind of the Marvel Knights line of DC, or I'm sorry, Marvel, where we're not like, you're not going to see Daredevil like kiddie toys or, you know, whatever. Like they're trying to purposely, because that tone is very different.
Yeah, that'd be inappropriate.
So, like, I have a little bit of confidence there that, you know, they're going to take these properties seriously for what they are.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Do we
we already have Star Wars Rebels for kids.
But do we want to talk about the Daredevil on Netflix coming up? Because
God, that was so good. Yeah. I am so hopeful for that.
Are you excited for it?
Yes, because Daredevil, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero as a kid, and then as soon as I like started to be an adult and kind of,
when was that?
20, like a week ago. No, like Daredevil was my favorite hero.
But I just gotta say, I love this man, this actor. What's his name, Jay?
Charlie Cox, which we first saw him from Stardust.
What else is he in?
He's in Stardust, and he was in it's not
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
He was the Irish dude. Oh, I love him so much.
Patio Concrete.
Is my love. Yeah, that I loved him from.
So, are you guys hopeful? Like, I haven't heard anything about the show. So, is it approaching it kind of like CW's The Arrow, where it's like more a humanized version, or are they just going like full on canon Marvel, superhero all the way?
Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of both, because Daredevil's superpowers were his senses, so he wasn't crazy.
Right, like he's a lawyer by day and like a vigilante by night kind of thing.
Yeah, the trailer does a nice job of kind of showing it seems realistic at the end. They kind of do a nod that this exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which would make sense.
Yes. And hopefully he shows up in Civil War, because in the comics he had a decent role in that.
So it's only on Netflix, right? Like it's not on a network?
And they all come out the same day.
Okay, so technically then I highly doubt we'd see like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover, because like that's such a big ABC thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'd have to line it up time-wise.
I
just don't know like, if there's a conflict of interest there or not. Well, actually, they're all by Disney.
No, there's not, because they're all by Marvel.
But looking at those two shows, though, I don't think Daredevil looks like the same sort of atmosphere setting at all.
As just like comics.
Oh, I would think Netflix is going to go a little edgier, just simply because of some of their other shows that they've done. I mean, they've not half-assed any of their shows so far that I've watched. So,
but you mean like Steve? They can't. Does it make sense that this exists in the same universe as?
Well, I just don't. I can't see him pulling that character. Not that it wouldn't be the same universe, I guess, but it just the grit that the Daredevil show seems to have versus what S.H.I.E.L.D. has. It'd be hard to make a crossover there.
Do you think S.H.I.E.L.D. is like more campy in comparison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is so campy.
I guess, but is the grittiness the same in Thor versus? And I guess you could say it is. But
they were all designed to kind of blend a little bit better, I think.
But they do have a different tone. I would say that if you look at the individual movies, especially like if you do the first Captain America versus like the first Thor, there's definitely a total difference in tone. Yeah. But they do a fantastic job of blending them all. And like
the first Captain versus the second Captain.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's
too. Yeah. But I mean, granted, we're jumping forward a century.
But I think that's where Marvel has shown. In the comics, Daredevil is that gritty, but he also is one of Spider-Man's best friends, and he exists in that universe in the comics.
Right.
And I also think, though, that shows that they can blend these things. They can still keep Daredevil what it is, and then still blend it if they want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool.
Yeah. Well, no, he's Fox right now.
Oh, shit, that's right.
I am excited for Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, I love Deadpool. I'd like to see it succeed, because so far, I feel like he's, to not have a better phrase, the butt of the joke, because like his games are always really very, very campy, and some people really like them, and some people don't. But then they got pulled off Steam because of the whole like
they lost
merger
their
acquisition. Yeah, like lost license. So I never got a chance to play the newest one, which like some people really liked, some people really didn't. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess Daredevil's just, or Deadpool is just kind of dead for now.
I'm excited that they're finally filming with Ryan Reynolds because I think he is perfect for that character.
I was so disappointed when what was that movie that went the wrong way with the Wolverine?
Wolverine.
Wolverine Origins, because he's in that, right?
He was playing that character, and it
right.
went the wrong.
He was Wade Wilson at that point. He was awesome.
Great at Wade Wilson, so great at Wade Wilson, and then it just went the wrong way. Like it took a detour that I did not
completely fucked him up at the end.
Yeah, what a shit show. But yeah, as far as speaking of shit shows,
before we wrap up, I wanted to do a shout out to our own blog real quick. It's not ours, but we share it with a lot of other writers from a lot of different areas of the internet. But if you go to thebindpoint.wordpress.com, currently I think our latest article is written by Mark from Adults Only Minecraft, and he does lots and lots of different Minecraft guides and videos on YouTube, but he recently wrote something about how you're an adult and gaming's a hobby, and it's not very respected, I guess you would say. Like that's not how he says it. He phrases it much better than I do, but respected so much in the adult world as an actual hobby, and talks about how this is how you choose to have your downtime and what have you. Also, Merrick is just approved him as a writer on there.
Awesome.
And he's going to be coming out with something pretty soon on there as well, so check that out. And if you remember, not too long ago, we had the dudes from Fluxdeposed highlighted on our podcast, and they just did. They've been doing it's not really very regular, maybe a month. I would say if it is regular, it's monthly segment on beer versus beer. And this week they released a new one, and the one brew. Since we talk about our drinking early in our show, I thought it was worth a mention. They also did Shorts Brewery as one of their Battle of the Beers this week, and we love Shorts Brewery. It's a very small brewery in Michigan. So
this episode is sponsored.
Bam! Sorry, yeah, I like them. I like them a lot.
Send us beer. We're sponsored.
just send it to Jason and Shannon. I don't want it.
No,
I don't like it.
Anyway,
Yep. Just put it that Jason and Shannon on the mailing address. Steve doesn't like beer.
That's the full address. Make sure. Yep.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up and move on to the
after party.
The after party? It's on the Twitch, and if you're listening to this and you've not been to the after party, go to the after party on our Twitch stream. We record on Friday nights at
Jason Shannon. Steve doesn't like beer.com.
Twitch.com/Jason and Shannon and Steve doesn't like beer. Go to it's Multiplaying net, or what is it, Shannon? What's the Twitch?
It's just Multiplaying.
Okay,
I have it up right now.
So Twitch.com.
Yeah, you go to twitch.tv, not .com.
Yes.
I don't know what that
How
might
did
take
they
you
not
to
get
some.
the .com? I don't know.
That might take you to some nefarious site. I'm not sure, but twitch.tv/multiplaying. And
that website.
That is where we are on Twitch.
Twitch, give me $48 and some delicious Shorts beer, and I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we record about 9 o'clock on Friday nights, Eastern Standard Time, and then after we're done recording, we'll go to the after party. Last week was quite the romp.
Yeah, that was the Night Trap episode.
We might not go till 1:30 in the morning every week, by the way.
Yeah. I was tired.
Or have an argument with one of the other multiplayers about a game. Dean.
Was it Night
No,
Trap?
we were arguing
Dean
about Ocarina of Time.
did not appreciate our view on Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that's right. Dean tweeted me and said I was going to get mad. What did you guys say?
Oh, yeah.
That it's not a good game.
That we said Majora's Mask was the superior game.
Well, you guys go ahead and
Oh, wait.
argue this
Okay, no, that's fine.
out.
I didn't say that.
He agrees, Dean.
Oh,
I'm going to go get a drink,
Majora's-
and I'll be right back for the after
Majora's is
party.
so good.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go. All the plants are going to die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast of multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
Did you guys hit record yet?